You have to start strategizing your life. You have to start thinking of yourself as the main character. Because if you don't, you will soon begin to realize that all the things that you think make you miserable will continue to magnify. So take a second and look around, then get up and start grinding for what you want now.
Hey everyone, this is the Droop Show, a podcast about everything and nothing, both at the same time.
So we got another extra guest speaker right here.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah. So yeah, these are the dogs that I found the beginning of quarantine, and they've been a handful. A handful.
So, where did you find them? They showed up at your door, or?
Yeah. So I had just moved. So where I'm at right now, literally, I was across the street at a duplex, and it's like an old, like historic duplex, like real nice, like everything in there is vintage. And I was walking out the back door, and my landlords were out there, and they had there were these 2 dogs with them. Like my landlords were like doing like some yard work, like digging up some flowers or something, and they just had some dogs with them. I just thought they were their dogs, and they were just, it was a nice day, and they were just out, enjoying it. And so I go out there, and they're like, yeah, these dogs just came walking up to us. And we got a hold of them because I live off of like a busy street, so we didn't want them running into the street. We held on to them for a couple days. We took them to see if they had like chips, if they've gotten chipped. Posted pictures and videos of them online. Nobody came forward. They weren't chipped. They're not fixed. And so it was like no one was claiming them. And I was like, well, I mean, I'll hold on to them, until we can figure out something to do with them. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. They didn't really want the dogs in the duplex, though, the historic duplex. And so it just so happened, like the day after we found these dogs, the house I'm in now, which is directly across the street, had just opened up. And they just so happened to also own that house. And they were like, so we can't find any place to put the dogs. Like, how do you feel about keeping them and moving across the street to this house? And this was like March. I moved into the duplex March 2nd. And they had asked me this on it was April 3rd. So I had been in that house for a month, just finally finished unpacking all my shit. And now I have to move 100 feet across the street to a house. So I'm like, fuck. But I mean, it was cool because it's a bigger house, 2-bedroom house, has a huge backyard for the dogs, and I get to keep the dogs. So I mean, it's been fun, but it's just, I mean, these dogs they were in great condition. Like, they were very well groomed, pretty well mannered for the most part. So it's like, I don't know, a lot of people had said that since the quarantine started, that people, couldn't take care of themselves, let alone animals. And with these being 2, decent sized pit bulls, maybe they had just gotten let go, on purpose. Because for no one to like claim these dogs was kind of weird to me, because they're beautiful dogs.
Right.
And it didn't really make sense that they weren't chipped, they weren't fixed. So
I was checking out the window, waiting for somebody to pull up looking for
a little bit. And so the bad part is that I've had them, since quarantine started, and that's when everything closed down. And so I haven't been able to take them myself to get them chipped or fixed or anything. And so it was 3 weeks ago, I found them stuck together. And 3 days in a row, I found them stuck together. And it was just like, fuck, I guess I have 2 dogs now, and I'm about to have a whole litter of puppies here in a few weeks. So, but I mean, it was 3 weeks ago, and she's not showing at all. Like, I don't see any bulge, starting in her stomach or anything. So I don't know if maybe it just he's not shooting the right shot or what, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So they've been a handful the past few weeks, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
They're good dogs. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll try to. Yeah, they're over here playing right now.
Yeah.
So this is the female. This is the girl dog here, and then on the male. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. This is the male dog. And they're always fucking with each other.
What's their names?
Mamba is the boy, and Gigi is the girl. And I named him that for I don't know if you guys are big into sports or anything, but I was a huge Kobe fan growing up, and he passed away a few months ago. Get down, go. And so they had popped up on my doorstep, around that time after he had died. Kobe, he died in a helicopter crash, and he was with his daughter. Yeah. And his daughter's name was Gigi. And so the boy, the black one, the black Mamba, that was Kobe's nickname. So I named this one Mamba, and then the girl Gigi.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was.
That's super
pretty
cool.
Crazy. So they're good dogs.
So you're a big Lakers fan?
Huge Lakers fan.
Yeah.
I mean, more so back in the day, back when it was, Shaq and Kobe. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I mean, I respect his game, but I don't know. I don't like him coming to the Lakers.
Yeah. I think it was quite a bit pretty sour about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
you've always been a Lakers fan too, hasn't he?
Who's that?
Has he?
I'm pretty sure.
Shane?
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't really talked to him much about sports. I know he played soccer growing up. I didn't know if he was interested in basketball like that.
I think he played not on, but with the semi-pro team there in Seattle for a while. The Sounders.
You're mentioning that. I don't know what the league's called, but like when he was over in Europe, he played on one of like the semi-pro teams, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was back when he was, in his teens.
Yeah, I've tried to convert Shane into an LSU fan for a long time now.
Oh yeah.
I think he pulls for him, but I don't think he'll admit too much to it.
Yeah.
No, he was.
And like in football or soccer or American football, or just in general.
Yeah, just American football and baseball, pretty much. All I really keep up with.
Gotcha.
And
did you guys play any sports growing up?
Football, baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit of baseball, football 1 year, but
you started working in high school and stuff, huh?
Oh yeah. I started working in high school, but in partying, that was pretty much my life.
Yeah.
That takes up a lot of time.
It does, man, and a lot of extracurricular activities you could be doing. I just roamed free. I was pretty free, as you know.
Yeah.
So, but
so how old?
Go ahead.
How old were you guys when you joined the Army or the Navy? Army?
Air Force, but
Air Force.
Right. Shotgun didn't. It was. I went straight. See, we went on a senior trip, and then September, like after I graduated high school.
It was a few months because
So I was 18 when I joined.
Yeah, you worked for that surveying company for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Are either of you guys still enlisted?
Oh, I never joined. I was never in the service.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
No, I served with Shane Roden.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was all three of you guys.
Oh no.
I know it's just.
No, Alex was too free, like you said.
Yeah, I was way too free for the military.
You and me both, man.
They were not. I mean, I was actually talking to a Marine recruiter when I was 17, and he had me. I mean, I was ready to join, but my mom actually told him not to talk to me again until I was 18. And then after that, I said, you know what? I just lost contact with him, and I was done. So
yeah. Do you think they do that on purpose? Like talk to the young kids because they maybe they feel like they don't have a direction. So they try to like kind of use that to their advantage.
Oh, I feel like it. I mean, he was a cool guy. You know, he was young. I mean, hell, I was 17, and I mean, to me, he was older. But looking back now, he was maybe 25. You know, and he had a. I mean, he was taking me to eat at like restaurants and shit. Like we was hanging out with some few other dudes that were kind of in the same situation as me, kind of wild guys. You know.
Yeah.
And he was cool. Like he'd come over to the house, play video games with us and shit. Like, you know, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, it's like, hey, man.
So like you child molester or something.
Yeah. After I said what I said, it was like, damn, it's kind of, you know, that's kind of what it sounded like. But, you know, but
Yeah.
But he was telling me, and then, you know, I'm pretty smart. So, like, I took the ASVAB, and I made a high score on the ASVAB, and he's telling me, like, man, you could do whatever you want. You know, you could do this, this, and this. And so I said, fuck it, man. Yeah, I'm in. And he said, all right, well, we'll just have to get your mom to sign. And I said, well, I can tell you right now, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
She ain't gonna
straight
go for
up, that ain't going to happen. So,
Uh-huh.
you know, so we kept in contact, and then finally she just told him, look, I mean, he was called, you know, this was before cell phones really. Well, I had a cell phone, but I never carried it because the only person who called me on it was my mom, and I wasn't trying to, you know, answer that call all the time. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, he was called. I remember seeing I can picture it right now, like seeing where you had the separate caller ID on your house phone, seeing his name pop up. You know.
Yeah.
No, those recruiters, man, they are more relentless than any debt collector, any of them. Like those guys will give up on you and just let the money go way before a recruiter's going to give up on you.
Yeah.
But the
No,
thing,
I'm glad I never really got involved with
yeah,
just talking to recruiters like that.
Yeah, they're just the kind of guys that, like, you know, most people try not to be, you know, an ass and trying to break it to them lightly. You can't do it with a recruiter. Like if you tell them anything other than absolutely not, they're going to keep hounding you.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, they pretty much get a commission. Well, it's not really a commission, but their grade is based on how many people they send through and everything, and they're ranked based off of that. You know, so I mean,
Yeah. They gotta do what they gotta do.
yeah. And this guy was a cool guy. I mean, he was fun to be around. Like, especially, you know, he was a cool guy, and he sold me the world. You know, you can travel, you can do this, you can do that. So
Yeah.
But, you know, that was in high school.
Oh.
So speaking of high school, it's like you do you're a para educator?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that like a
para-educator.
part-time gig or full-time or?
That's my full-time job. And so basically it's the easiest job. I have the two easiest jobs in the world. I don't know how I got so lucky, but I sit in the classroom, and so if the classroom is if there's 20 kids in the class, there will be maybe 5 of them that have I mean, I guess they're considered special ed, but it's not like a disability type special ed. They just have like learning disabilities to where they don't pick up on stuff as fast as they should. So you just kind of have to explain it to them, you know, an extra time or two. And so the majority of the time I'm just sitting in the back of the classroom, just letting the teacher, you know, explain stuff. And then once they get started on some schoolwork, or, you know, I'll just kind of walk around and answer questions if they have it. But I mean, it's very low accountability. I mean, it's sad to say, like for what I do, they don't expect too much from me, but at the same time, I'm pretty vital with the small amount of kids in the classroom. Like it's required by law for me to have a certain amount of hours worked with these kids throughout the day. But I mean, they hardly ever need me.
No, I think it's great because public schools where we're from, man, it's like 30 children in a classroom. It started to get ridiculous probably about the 4th grade, and I caught on to it early that like 30 students for one teacher is too much. So
It's a lot.
Yeah, and it seemed like, I mean, I remember my fourth grade teacher having like 32, and I just remember, God damn, over 30 is crazy.
Yeah. And to expect that one teacher to be able to control, I mean, to keep everyone's attention, to keep the 2 or 3, class clowns, the badasses from distracting the other 28 kids in the class, and to be able to teach at the same time, and stay focused on the assignment and pass stuff out and make sure everyone has what they need. Like it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, and it's a lot of just headache for the teachers, so it is nice for me to be in there and be able to give them, just, extra hands if they need it, or, just keep some of the kids quiet while they're working with the other students.
Yeah, and since you brought it up, like that class clown and those kids that disrupt, like I don't know, I'm not assuming that the teachers you work with are female, but just having a male sometimes they respond differently to a male. Like, hey, chill,
Yeah.
they'll buck a female teacher, like, where when a male talks, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sad that that's the truth, but I mean, that is absolutely the truth. That a lot of the female teachers, they don't demand the same respect that a male can. And the kids know that. And I don't know what that says about, the kids themselves, their upbringing, just with respect to elders, to anyone older than you, and just to all people. But it is something that I use a lot, like, and I instill in the kids, like, because the teacher will ask them, to be quiet, stay focused, and they'll keep fucking around or whatever. And I'll kind of just go up to him, and get kind of close to him. Just like, hey, I know you heard what she said.
Yeah.
So stop fucking around. I mean, I'll cuss at some of the kids just because I've built that rapport with them.
Right.
And they're, they're cool and they respect me, and so I can, kind of get away with a little bit of that. But for the most part, man, it's like I try to be their friend, to a point to where they do have that level of respect for me. If I do have to get serious with them, they won't want to be assholes to me because they don't want to break that connection that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years as well, and I've never had any issues with the kid to where I had to, like, raise my voice with them or, send anyone to the office or anything like that.
Yeah.
My mom actually was doing the same thing for years, and she has really bad sinus issues and allergies and stuff. And then working at the school, just in general, she was constantly sick from the kids and everything else. So she decided to get out of Louisiana, which is not a place that's great on your allergies to begin with. And but now she works she helps set up the gift shops and stuff on for the park services on Yellowstone National Park.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just bounce around, like they'll open and shut down different parts of the park, different entrances and everything. So they'll close all the different shops down and then move to the next area and open them all back up.
So how does that work with her allergies then, if she's working at national parks?
I think it's just super dry out there, in comparison to here. There's not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think this, it's not as much like. I mean, there's still pollen, but not like here. I mean, you'll wake up one morning and your car will have a yellow tint to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
a different world,
right? And it's really bad for allergies here. And then plus, a lot of people that have allergies are fighting with asthma and the humidity, and not very helpful.
It's hard around here as well in Kansas with allergies because we have a lot of farmland. I mean, not like so much in Wichita. Wichita is a pretty big city, but I mean, just even in the surrounding areas, I've never really had allergies until about 2 or 3 years ago. And all of a sudden I just woke up one morning and my eyes were swollen, my nose itched like crazy, my eyes itched, and it was just bad. But I mean, I've been able to get it under control pretty much, the past year or so. But I hate it. It's the worst.
See, I've had the opposite, man. I grew up having terrible allergies. So I guess either in high school or right after high school when I went to the Air Force, man, it just nothing.
Really?
Like if I'm jumping in a pile of fresh cut grass, it's probably gonna bother me a little bit. But other than that, I don't have hardly any issues.
Lucky you, man. I know you had to struggle for your whole life growing up, but shit, to not have that now, that's that's nice.
So do you have bad allergies playing basketball?
I don't know what Shank's talking about right there.
I thought that was going to be a funny story behind that.
Oh, okay. I know what he's talking about. It wasn't allergies. We were doing a photo shoot like this, like on one weekend, and that during that week I went and played basketball like I always do, and I think I got elbowed in the eye, or like, I don't know. I took a pretty gnarly hit to the eye, and it was just like black all through here. And so it was just like, it was not conducive for doing a photo shoot. So for 2 or 3 weeks, we kind of had to put a hold to all that stuff while my eye healed up.
Pack the ice on every night.
Yeah, man. This is my money maker. I got to keep this thing clean from bruises and cuts, and it doesn't always go as planned when I'm out there getting physical on the court, but yeah, Shane wasn't too happy.
Team of the shoot up a little bit. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, we're doing sportswear now.
Yeah. Get me one of those masks or something.
Yeah.
Come in like
some boxing gloves or something.
Full face guard.
Yeah. Horace Grant wearing those goggles.
Oh yeah. Those damn binoculars on his face.